This video is part of the Good Intentions Stitch Along series by Chrissie Crafts. Other videos are available in the series. Thanks for watching and happy stitching! Hello Stitchers! So you finished your Good Intentions embroidery. Now it's time to frame it. The first thing you need to think about is the hoop. Are you going to leave it how it is? Are you going to paint it with some spray paint? Are you going to wrap it with some washi tape or some ribbon like I've done here? I've used some quite wide satin ribbon that I wanted to use kind of bunched up like you see here. And all you have to do is wrap it around and then put a bit of glue at either end to stick it in place and let it dry with a clothes peg to hold it in place. Once you have your hoop finished and ready to go, we need to cut out some felt. You need 2 pieces of felt, one to go on the very back of your embroidery inside the frame, and then one slightly larger one that will cover everything at the back and serve as the back of the finished picture. So what I do is I trace the inside of the small inner hoop and cut out a piece of felt that size, and then I trace the outside of the larger hoop and I cut out a larger piece of felt, just like you see here. Now it's time to deal with the embroidery itself. You want to cut a big circle around your embroidery, leaving a nice wide margin that you could use to gather at the back of your work and stitch it together. So I trace a big circle around the outside of the frame, leaving about an inch or 2, and cut it with sharp scissors. Now it's time for some proper sewing. You get some sewing thread that matches your fabric, and you do a very wide running stitch just around the back hem, gathering it up as you see here, pulling it a bit tighter to gather it all in. And as you can see, I put the smaller circle of felt across the back of my embroidery to hide all those stitches and keep them secure. Then tie a knot at the end and you're ready to back your fabric. For the slow down embroidery hoop that I did, I had a lot of extra fabric around the edge of that embroidery, so I was able to cut a wider margin. Next, you want to take your bigger piece of felt and put it on the back of the entire hoop. You put a little bit of glue all around the edge of the hoop, then stick that big piece of felt on the back, covering up all the threads and sewing. The last thing I do is take a piece of ribbon, make a bow, and glue it to the top of the hoop to cover up the screw. And then it is ready to display. Here's another version of the Good Intentions hoop that I've spray painted with some pewter colored paint, and I put a very simple linen ribbon at the top to cover up the screw. A big thank you to everyone who stitched along with this Good Intentions SAL. Please remember to tag your pictures with the Good Intentions SAL hashtag, and happy stitching!